Hello people, welcome back to another commentary. I managed to get some decent Destiny gameplay, so please stick around and enjoy that in the background. I'll be discussing my final thoughts on the Destiny beta as well as my hopes for the full game. So what you're going to see today is some Iron Banner multiplayer gameplay on Rusted Lands. For those of you who don't know, Iron Banner is the game mode where your character's level and gun stats matter. And that plays a crucial part in this game mode. Rusted Lands is actually the first map I played in the alpha, so it's nice to see that they brought this map back in the beta. And as far as I know, it was only playable in the Iron Banner game mode. So this map has got to be my favorite map out of all three that were made available to us. Venus was decent, but next to this map, it's no comparison for me. As for First Light, the one that takes place on the moon, I wasn't a huge fan. The vehicles ruined it for me. Most of the time when someone gets in a vehicle, they stay in that vehicle for almost the entire match if they can help it. It's not easy to destroy these vehicles because heavy ammo is by far the easiest method to do so, but it's only made available a few times in a single match, so it's not an easy task to take these vehicles out without some muscle. You could try shooting your auto rifle or something like that, but chances are you'll be dead before you can even get close to taking the enemy out. Plus, the fact that you can capture points while inside the vehicle is ridiculous. So pardon my English, but I think that's complete bullshit. And I really hope they change that in the full game. So as you can see, I'm playing as the Hunter class once again. I'm just using an auto rifle with a high rate of fire, and I got my trusty shotgun as my special, of course. I got the chance to play all three classes, and the Hunter is now my second choice next to the Titan class. I know that right now a lot of people are probably thinking that there are very little differences between all these three classes, but just remember that the beta caps you at level 8, and there are character upgrades we probably didn't even get to see in the game, and the character subclass isn't even unlocked until level 15, so that's a whole nother tree of skills to unlock and whatnot. And so yeah, the subclass will bring us new special attacks and upgrades, I'm sure. I'd also like to think that they boosted XP progression in this beta so that we could level up faster and explore the skill tree. So I'm not saying this is a fact, but it's what I believe. So as far as the Hunter class goes, I enjoy the Hunter class, mainly in PvP multiplayer because he's got the agility I look for in my movement, and also I'm pretty good with the golden gun, his super, which is awesome. I think it's I think it's not overpowered. I think you get 3 shots with it, and you had to be spot on with all 3 shots. So I also think the Hunter's double jump is the best jump in the game because it's quick and precise. You can jump once in one direction, and you can jump in a different direction almost seamlessly with the next jump. And he doesn't really float in the air like the other classes do, especially the Warlock. So it's more of a straight back to the ground kind of jump. And in my experience, the Hunter's double jump is a great asset in one-on-one gunfights if you use it right. The Titan, on the other hand, is more of an in-your-face kind of class. He packs a lot of punch, and he has the highest armor rating of all 3 classes. The only downside is the Titan's speed. It's almost nothing compared to the Hunter class. I mainly use Titan for exploring and for story missions because of his armor. The Titan's super ability is my favorite though so far, and it's also one of the easiest to use. The Titan's armor rating has a huge impact in the Iron Banner game mode as well. For an example, I was playing as my Hunter. I unloaded a full clip with my auto rifle into a Titan at medium to close range, and he just ran through my bullets and bashed my face in. So I almost took him out, but that's a good example of class differentiation. The Warlock was the only class I didn't put as much time into. The only thing that was appealing to me about the Warlock was his recovery speed and his double jump. But after I upgraded that jump, I wasn't too comfortable with it. Floating in the air for so long just made me feel way too vulnerable. And yes, I know you can control when to drop, but still. The Warlock class is a cool class, especially his super ability, but it just wasn't for me. So another thing I want to talk about is the upgrade system. I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot. There were 2 types of weapons that were usable in the beta. You have regular weapons, which are common and can be found often by killing standard enemies, or they can be purchased from the gunsmith in the tower. These weapons have a fixed attack strength, and they can't be upgraded. Then you have the uncommon weapons or rare weapons. The rare ones we weren't able to use because we weren't high enough level, but the uncommon ones we could use. The uncommon ones were distinguished by a green background on the weapon thumbnail, and these weapons were usually dropped by high-level enemies, either in engram form or as a weapon itself. You could also purchase uncommon weapons from the gunsmith in the tower, which don't appear as often as regular weapons. Uncommon weapons, they can be upgraded simply by using it for a long period of time. So when you use it enough, you unlock the perks that weapon possesses. The unique weapon perk can actually be found under the weapon description before you even start using it, which is awesome because that way you can know whether or not you want to put time into unlocking that weapon's ability, or deciding to throw the weapon out and find that same weapon with a better ability or ability that suits you better. By using this weapon, you will unlock things like different scopes or the ability to increase the range or reduce a weapon's recoil, and a whole lot more. In the end, you will indefinitely upgrade the weapon's full attack power, and the weapon is fully upgraded when there is a yellow outline around the weapon's icon. One thing about the weapons that I didn't really look into was the different elemental damage each one has, and their effects on different types of enemies. So I know what these elements are called, but I had no idea which one was better or worse to use against my enemies. So for those who don't know, the fire symbol means solar damage, the blue ring is arc damage, and the purple swirl is void damage. So don't don't ask me what each one is used for because I have no clue. So overall, I love this upgrade system. The same upgrade system applies to body armor as well. The options that are available for each piece of gear are limited. Another fun thing I enjoyed in this game was the exploration. There's so much loot to find, it's crazy. The loot will usually be in a different place every time you leave and return to a world, which keeps the Glimmer and weapon farming from being repetitive and too predictable. In my explorations, I would frequently come across high-level enemies, which would deal a death blow in a single hit, which I found funny. Didn't anger me, I just found it hilarious. You can't hurt these enemies at such a low level, sure, but it's going to be so satisfying to come back to these enemies in the full release when I'm the right level to face these assholes.
Enemy captured Zone C.
The best and most rewarding feature in this game, the strike missions. I played one mission that was available, the one mission. I played it countless times. I died, I made mistakes, but most importantly, I learned. This mode is most fun with friends, and it's even more fun planning out your attacks and strategizing. These strike missions are challenging, and I like a challenge. It encourages you to try something new every time you go out there. So overall, this game is just plain fun and addicting. In the week that this beta was available, I could barely put it down. I would come home basically every day after work and turn it on right away. That would be the first thing I would do. Even if none of your friends are on, you can just explore the massive map solo, doing side missions or looking for that one better weapon or helmet, and once in a while taking part in public events that brings together other players that are playing online who are exploring to take down a massive boss. The gameplay is just smooth and it's so satisfying. It just keeps me wanting more. In the full game, I'm looking forward to exploring the other worlds so much. The story missions alone will be enough to keep me happy. The multiplayer is there as a bonus, but I'm not really too interested in the multiplayer. I won't be playing that as often as co-op missions and stuff. This game is focused on cooperative play, so that's probably what I'll spend most of my time doing. So yeah, that's pretty much concludes this commentary. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the Destiny beta and the Destiny game itself, so please leave your comments below. If you're just stopping by, thank you so much. Please don't forget to share and like this video if you enjoyed. Every little bit means the world to me, and once again, I'm Damon Fire, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.